Well, it's the first of its kind. It's the first plug-in flex fuel hybrid electric vehicle that essentially has a electric vehicle with a operating distance of 39 miles, and from there 11 gallons of liquid fuel kicks in. And so we used an off-the-shelf ready available conversion kit to convert the 11 gallons to flex fuel. So you have a EV that's running on partial battery electric, and then also also E85.
So if I live in my community and I'm just going to the grocery store, I can use the electric option. But I've got to run some errands, got to get some done out of town. I can take advantage of ethanol.
That's right. In fact, you can use the ethanol first and save the battery for last. So it's really the best of all worlds. If you have long distances, there is no range anxiety. In fact, I told a farmer recently, you don't ever have to use the battery or plug it in unless you want to. But sometimes it's sitting there, and why not?
What do you see as the benefits if a vehicle like this were on the market? What difference would that make?
Well, right now there's a few things going on. We have goals on greenhouse gas emissions that are well off into the future that we're building out electric vehicles to meet that. This vehicle meets it today. And with a vehicle technology that's available today, fuel that's available today, and what we're trying to say is don't overlook ethanol in your emissions goals, because you don't have to wait a couple, 3 decades. You can do that today.
Compared to what a Tesla is, we could build a bunch of these things.
But one of the most important things now is the rare earth minerals and where they're coming from. And most of them are coming from China right now. And you can build 18 of these vehicles for every Tesla, or if you went simple hybrid flex fuel vehicles, you could build 60 to 80 vehicles instead of one Tesla.
This administration certainly has environmental goals, but if we want to reach those, do we need to use technology we have today, like flex fuel vehicles?
Well, we've heard for a number of years that the automakers have themselves backed into a corner because of the emission standards and the greenhouse gases and the overall corporate average fuel economy. What Senator Ricketts and Senator Klobuchar are doing with the Flex Fuel Fairness Act is opening that door to the same level, so the scale is not tipped to electric vehicles. Let the technology prove itself, whether it's emissions or fuel economy or overall cost of ownership, and this vehicle can compete and win.
So this is not a production vehicle. How did you get this rigged up here then?
Well, so we call it a concept vehicle, and in fact there's a lot of Nebraska roots here. We brought this vehicle up, had 220 miles, and we took it to UNL. The University of Nebraska Husker Motorsports team helped me with the conversion, and under an hour we were fueling it up with E85 and checking things out. But we've seen barely any fuel economy loss on E85. We've had it tested on emissions with a 70% reduction in with NOx, and over a 70% reduction in particulate matter. The number 2 things affecting human health. And so we're not only improving this car as far as cost of ownership is better, but overall emissions today, we don't have to wait for tomorrow.